A Rhetoric Analysis for the California State University Northridge 2018 Annual Security Report. First, we will go through these rhetorical strategies and determine what strategies the report uses to present their message through page layout, text, visuals, credibility, research, and persuasion. Then we will be asking two main questions. What rhetorical strategies do authors use to present their message to the audience, and to what extent are these strategies effective? In brief, the California State University Northridge Annual Security Report was created by the Department of Police Services because of the commitment of safety and security of all members for the CSUN's community, and in the compliance of the Jean Cleary Disclosure of Campus Security Policy and Campus Crime Statistics Act, 2008 revision to the Higher Education Opportunity Act, California Education Code Section 67380, and the Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2013. Moving to our first section, we go to page layout. Our first question is, how well does the report utilize the space of the page? As you can see, it is used very well, the content is organized, and ideas are separated. It can be seen through separated titles, paragraphs, and bullet points. Our second question is, does the report use white space efficiently? As you can see, the white space is seen throughout the document, and only 3 colors are used as a theme. Continuing with page layout, our next question is, are the objects on the page placed in a manner that makes sense and is easy to read? Although not many objects are in the report, the Crime Statistics Report is a great example of a clear and easy to read object. Our next section that we go over is text. The first question of text is, how much text do the pages include? Throughout the report, there is a lot of text, but ideas are organized by bullet points and paragraphs. The next question is, how easy is it to read the text? The language of the text is set in layman terms and does provide explanations to definitions that may be unfamiliar. Another factor is, the font is a perfect size and very legible. Moving on to a next section of text, we look at the author's choice of words. What are the connotations of the words? The connotations of the words are mainly neutral and don't have a negative or positive effect. Next question is, do they have underlying political, social, or emotional meaning? As you can see, the report is very professional, and you can see that the meanings of the text are very straightforward. Next question is, are the sentences long or short? On average, the sentences are relatively long, but with critical information in each line. Looking at the image to the right of the sentences, you can see that the sentences of sexual violence are very straightforward, with no underlying meanings, but are pretty long. Moving to our next section, visuals. The first question is, what images does the report include? The first image here is the Oviatt Library, one of the main buildings on campus. We ask, why might the author have selected that image? It represents the school's centerpiece building. Next question is the image making a particular statement? Not necessarily, because this is a cover page of the report. It is a logical image for the reader to have a general image of what CSUN is. Last question is, do the images make it easier or more difficult to report? Because it is a cover page image, it does not make it easier or harder to report. However, overall, the report does not have any images except for the image of the Oviatt Library. Moving on to the next section, credibility. Because this report involves government and law information, the credibility of the report must be established. We can ask these two main questions. How do the authors use credibility in their report? How do we know that they are a trustworthy, believable source of information on this topic? We will go more in depth on the next slide. How do the authors establish credibility? Through numerous factors, the Department of Police Services established credibility through the Crime Statistics Report, crime prevention programs, the outlining The outlining of significant crimes incidents on campus, including alcohol, drugs, sexual violence, registered sex offenders, emergency notifications, missing student notification, Fire Safety Act, and the above also includes procedural information on how CSUN and the police take action. The next section of credibilities, how do we know that they are a trustworthy source? Several factors that conclude that the report is a trustworthy source include that it was created in unison with the help of a team of 11 individuals from different departments at CSUN. While being created, the report must be in compliance with the Jean Cleary Disclosure of Campus Security Policy and Crime Statistics Act, Executive Order 1107, with the use of statistics, programs to raise awareness, and teams that help overcome incidents. We move on to research. So we ask, how did the authors use research in the report? The authors can show use of research through recorded crime statistics. Next question is, where do they use research to support their points? Because the report is primarily informative and used in terms of ways to prevent and raise awareness, the only research is once again the use of the crime statistics report. Where does the research come from? As said before, the Department of Police records the crime statistics, and the Clery Compliance Team, which consists of a team of 11 members from different departments on campus, who assist in ensuring statistics, awareness, and trainings workshops are in place for the CSUN community. How old is the research? To stay up to date, the research findings are within a 3-year time frame, and in this case, between 2015 and 2017. Along with that, updated programs and workshops are also added to the report. Our last section is persuasion. What are the authors trying to persuade you to believe? The authors are not necessarily trying to persuade anything specific, but do state that crime does occur on campus, that CSUN and the Department of Police are aware of the issues at hand, and in liaising with the Clery Compliance Team, members are always up to date with information and programs to decrease crime. How do we know? The numerous programs created and listed in the report to ensure awareness and prevention, and the message from the president that states the school's commitment to safety. On our final slide of persuasion, we ask, what persuasive strategies does the report use? After going through the text, you can see that ethos is used as a persuasive strategy. The author shows a sense of credibility through support of laws related to the text. Second question, does it use any logical fallacies? No. Because it is strictly professional and has an informative tone, the report does not use any logical fallacies. Our last question is, how persuasive are the arguments? The report is very informative and in turn does not have any arguments. In conclusion, we can go over our 2 main questions. What rhetorical strategies do the authors use to present their message to the audience? And we can see this through text, credibility, persuasion. Our last question is, to what extent are these strategies effective? Through text, although there is a lot of content, the information is key to the reader and the ideas are well spaced and organized. Through credibility, the author provides information with the support from laws or regulations, crime statistics report, and the outlining of significant crimes incidents on campus. Persuasion. The author holds the use of ethos throughout the report, ensuring credibility is there while using a professional tone. Overall, the report has a strong rhetoric. It can be seen in strategies of text, credibility, and persuasion.